Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to Sam and Max Surfin the Streams. I am Max Williams, and with me, as always, is Sam Richards.
Hey.
We are here to talk about the third episode of Orville's second season, titled Home. And, let's get right into it. Arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling. Isaac versus Alara.
Yes, in which the scene which immediately showed us that Jason Alexander's bartender character, Olix, is definitely a recurring character.
Awesome.
He's just going to show up whenever they're in that bar. I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Alien, he's their own Guinan.
Yeah.
/ Quark.
Yeah, a little both. That's pretty cool. But, arm wrestling, Alara's arm breaks.
Versus Isaac, we should say. That, the whole crew is placing bets on whether the super strong alien or the android is going to win. Or robot. Android? Robot.
He's from a race of mechanical beings.
Data's an android, right?
Data is an android.
I think Isaac's an android.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say he's an android. Robots are different. They're not. But androids are supposed to look human.
I mean, he is human-shaped.
Yeah, he is human-shaped.
What I really want to know is I want to meet some more of his species, and I want to see if they have their eye dots arranged in the same fashion, or if that's something he did to, make himself a little more, give humans something to look at, so it wasn't just a flat face or some other weird pattern.
What if they're like the forest spirits in Princess Mononoke that click their heads that all have different shaped heads and circles?
Some of them display emoticons and things across their front display.
Yeah, that would fit with the show.
Right. But anyway, Isaac not only wins, but he breaks her arm.
Breaks her arm.
Which leads to the reveal that Alara's bone density is going down.
Right, because she was separated from her home world where they have very strong gravity at a very young age.
Right, and it just is a thing that happens to her species when they spend a lot of time. I guess it's not something that will always happen, but it's not super uncommon.
Right.
And the only treatment is to go back to your home planet and reacclimate for several months to years.
Yep. So we get to go to her planet and see what that's like.
Right. Bad news for her, good news for us, because that means we get to go and see a whole episode's worth of Robert Picardo as Alara's father on Zalea.
And Phlox.
And Phlox, yes, John Billingsley. We get a double doctored, which they even call out in the show, because when Mercer is dropping off Alara and he's talking to Picardo, he says something about our medical sciences said blah, blah, blah. And Picardo goes, we do have doctors here on Zalea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so then we get, it wasn't super exciting, the Alara being at home and doesn't get along with her family.
Right, but still doing her job well, even though she's in a wheelchair.
Right, yes, being active, paying attention to things. Not much happens on the ship itself. We get a little bit with their new interim officer, played by Patrick Warburton, who's a weird... It's not really an elephant trunk since both ends are attached to his body.
Right, it's an esophagus.
His secondary esophagus, which allows him to just pound food, Doc.
Yeah, just pound it.
Right on the bridge. And I don't know if we actually see it or if it's just something somebody says later, but I guess he wears sandals sometimes.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then, the other subplot is kind of just, how much fun Gordon has with the gravity of the planet and, piloting the shuttle and having to get into the gravity suit and walk around on that planet. And, it's all right. So, the episode takes a little while to really get to what it's about.
Right, that's true.
Because, they're vacationing on their little, island paradise area where supposedly no one else is staying at that time.
Yeah.
But turns out that John Billingsley and his wife are also staying there, and so they invite him over for dinner.
Yep.
And that's a big mistake, because it turns into a real dark home invasion horror movie.
Yeah, hostages and a little bit of torture.
Yeah, it takes a real fast turn, because it seems they're all enjoying dinner there, and they're going to get some sauce out of the pot, and Billingsley says to Picardo, get it with your hand. It's reach your hand into the boiling pot to get it. And it just goes from there.
Yeah, and then he does that, which is awful.
It's truly horrible. And Picardo, man, like both in that scene and throughout and like later during the whole emotional
revelation,
like he's so good.
He's so good.
Like he's a class above all the other performances we usually see on this show.
It's true.
Such a damn thespian.
You really don't see like revelation. I've been the asshole this whole time. Acted that well very often.
Yeah, he really seems disgusted with himself.
Yeah, I thought that was cool to see.
Yeah, and because of some factors outside of the show, they actually were able to give this episode an extremely unexpected ending. Because at the end of an episodic TV series with a set cast like this, of course they're going to come up with a magic solution for Alara to be fine and come back on the ship. And in fact, they come up with the solution. Like it would be rough. She'd have to do like intense therapy on the ship for a long time, and it wouldn't be easy. But they're totally setting it up as this, like, okay, this is just going to be a part of her character from now on.
Yep.
And she decides to stay home and get to know her family.
Stay home, and she's off the show.
Like, we don't get that weird emotional moment that so many episodic shows do, where they have that moment of like getting to know my family for the first time. Like, oh, we understand each other. All right, bye.
Right.
I'm gonna go off and be on 4 more seasons of this, and like, we get like a real good emotional resolution. And she's off the show.
She's off. She's gone.
She done.
That's it.
No more Alara. So that, I think, pretty much covers it.
Yeah, that covers it.
It was a pretty decent episode with some good performances. But I would say, I don't know that it was that funny. There's a couple of jokes, but like it's far more into like the intense like thriller mode than a piece of comedy television, to be honest.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like when they're cutting back to the ship for Patrick Warburton shenanigans, and then, cutting back down to the home invasion happening on the planet. That's a real whiplash of tones happening.
That's true. But when you think about it, last season there was an Alara episode that also had like a little bit of horror element when she's on the holodeck the whole time and she doesn't know it, and evil Isaac is after her and he's scary.
Right, yeah. She's good in those like horror movie situations where it was going to be an Ellen Ripley,
right.
or a Buffy, like the lone girl against the evil type thing, and she was perfect for that.
Yeah. Especially because she clearly was... she sells that she's afraid, but she's fighting through it anyway.
Right. She is pretty good at, exactly like you said, being both afraid, but also extremely competent as a Starfleet officer. Or should I say, United Federation? I cannot remember what they're called.
Starfleet officer. Just let that little thing slip out there. Freudian slip.
The what are they called? Come on, we like this show.
Planetary... United Planetary Alliance?
Ooh, is it the Alliance? I don't remember. Boy, maybe I shouldn't have dug into this can of worms. Anyway, that was Sam and Max surfing the streams for the Orville. Thanks for listening, everybody. And we'll see you next time.
Yep.